Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I am your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. Today's title is talking about Black women, the new Grif. This picture right here that you see is a famous painting in the Black community. If you grew up in any type of urban area, this painting was at all of the swap meets and flea markets. This painting was on rugs. It was everywhere. Picture frames. This painting was duplicated in the Black community millions of times over. I don't even know who the author is, or excuse me, the painter, but, or should I say the artiste, but this picture is very famous and it's very telling. Now, why would this picture, this painting essentially go viral in the Black community? I'll tell you, because the Black community is a matriarchy. I often say that the Black community is the only matriarchal society in the West. Black women run the Black community. And as you see, if you look at this painting, it's the Black man holding up the world and the Black woman sitting down, but really it's the Black man giving the Black woman the world. Now, I'm going to ask you a question about a hypothetical situation. Let's say you were to have a child and you tell that child from birth that you are the best thing ever. You are wonderful. You are royalty. In fact, you are even God. If you tell this child you are the best thing that's ever been created, and you tell this child this its entire life. Now, by the time that child turns 18, what do you think you've created? Now, the simple-minded people will say, well, you've instilled in that child self-confidence. False. You created a monster, because what you did was you gave that person their reward without them earning it. You told them that they were the greatest thing ever, but they hadn't done anything. All they did was be born. And so when it comes to Black women are told from birth that they are queens, they are goddesses, they are the backbone of the Black community, they are strong, they are independent, they are super women, like they're gods. They're told every great attribute with no requirements, though. They're only told this based on the way they look. And so imagine what happens when a Black woman becomes an adult, and that's been her programming since birth. That type of person, we all would agree, is going to be entitled. They're going to be spoiled. They're going to be hard to deal with. And so when we talk about this so-called Black community, we have to address the amount of programming that's in the community. For example, this is very famous right here. The white woman came in, the feminists came in and tricked the Black woman. Well, if this is true, then how has the Black woman counteracted this? How has she counteracted this programming? How has she counteracted this trickery, this deception? What steps is the Black woman taking to not fall victim to this quote unquote CIA operation, or this really is a communist operation? What has she done? What courses are out there? I haven't heard any courses out there. What has the Black woman done? Who's teaching a lecture about this? Who is saying these are the areas you all have been deceived? Here's how to fix it. The pastors aren't doing it. The politicians aren't doing it. No Black leader that's a female is doing it. So my question is, when we talk about this programming and propaganda that exists in Black women, then my question is, who's fixing it? How is it getting corrected? I'll tell you, it's not being corrected. It's not. It's not being corrected. This is why Black women are the #1 targets for this global agenda. They're the #1 targets because they actually run their community. So when it comes to feminism, the epitome of feminism is a Black woman, because a Black woman runs the Black community. The epitome of a communist is a black woman because the black woman runs the black community. And she is loyal and dedicated to the government, i.e. the state. The greatest agent of globalism is the black woman because she will champion any cause that will cause the destruction of America. So my question is, who is deprogramming black women? It's not the black church. It's not the Democratic Party. It's not any black female leaders. Who's doing it? Nobody. So is talking about black women a new Grif? No, it's not. Black women petitioned to cancel Kevin Samuels, simultaneously leading the nation in abortion. Ayanna Fix My Life had to quit doing her show because black women were sending her death threats. Rebecca Lynn Pope stopped doing her dating advice for black women because she said it was too hard, too difficult, too delusional. So my question is, we have all these all this measurable data, we have all these experience, we have everything, but yet talking about black women is the new Grif. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. If there's any indicator of where black women stand, imagine Kamala Harris as a candidate. Kamala Harris, I believe, is the only candidate in history to have as much negative press as she did positive. She's the only presidential candidate that had all of her laundry out in the open, all of it. So in the most informed election, because we had Donald Trump, who was a previous president, and we had Kamala Harris, who was already vice president, both of them had served 4 years. We had all the information on Trump, all the information on Kamala Harris. Black women still picked Kamala Harris at 92 or 93%. That means with all the information, black women still chose Kamala Harris. That tells us everything. That tells us everything. Look at this propaganda. The black woman is God. Imagine a person being told they're God and they didn't even earn it. Not that it's even possible, but imagine a person being told that they're God and they didn't even earn it. What kind of person did you create? What kind of person did you create when you tell them you are a God simply based on appearance? You created a monster. Nobody wants to say that. How are black women being deprogrammed from being called a god and a goddess, a queen? How are they being deprogrammed for this? I remember I asked, I did a video one time years ago, and I said, can white women be queens? 99% of black women said no. But then when I asked, I said, okay, well, what are the qualifications for being a queen? And they listed attributes. And then I said, well, any woman could be those things. So really, when we're talking about being a queen, it has nothing to do with character, morality, virtue, standards, and principles. Being a queen and a goddess has everything to do with appearance. It has nothing to do with who the person truly is. It's all aesthetics. Even pictures like this. The black woman is the universe. She's everything. How are black women being deprogrammed from this? Who's deprogramming black women from this?
There are many black people who consider those fighting words because as black women, we have never been subject. My position is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is the direct cause of the breakdown in our black family structure. Now, of course, there are many black people who consider those fighting words because as black women, we have never been subject to the kind of examination that our men have been subject to since we have been here. We have been somewhat protected and shielded from any kind of critiquing about our personal behavior, whereas our men have always been up for examination.
Now, Shahrazad Ali she was on point with some things, and then she was lost in the sauce on all the rest. But when she talked about Black women being examined, really Black women being held accountable, it never existed. And it's just a truth. It's never existed. Black women have never been held accountable, ever. There's no period where they said Black women have to do better. Nowhere. It's been said about men, and I believe it should be. Men should be held to the higher standard because men are the leaders. So I have no problem with any man being examined, being scrutinized, being critiqued. I don't. Being criticized, I don't. But the problem is that Black women have not been held to any standard. They haven't, because again, they are in the position of authority in the Black community. So the fact that they're Black and they're women give them all of the credit qualifications. And when she said that, she was 1,000% correct. And so today, when we're talking about Black women, and again, anybody that's ever attempted to hold Black women accountable have been met with fierce opposition, fierce. And it's because Black women aren't used to it. Matter of fact, holding a Black woman accountable today is seen as you hate your mother. It's seen as misogyny. It's seen as you hate yourself. It's seen as racism. It's seen as like everything bad. Something about holding them accountable. We can agree that if Black women lead the nation in abortion, if Black women lead the nation in obesity, if Black women lead the nation in single motherhood, if Black women lead the nation in STDs, if Black women lead the nation in debt, we can agree that that's a problem. That group of women are going to present challenges for the country. If they lead the nation in abortion, we're talking about a moral issue, spiritual issue, character issue. We're talking about they lead the nation in obesity, again, a moral issue, health issue. They lead the nation in single motherhood. Again, when selecting a mate, they do very poorly. How about the STD rate? Poor sexual practices? How about the debt? Poor spending habits? Like a nation of women like that is going to present a problem for everybody, not just Black men, for everybody, even themselves. So we have to be honest. We really have to be honest.
Kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Having an education and a job does not necessarily mean you have a successful life.
And again, what she is saying here is Black women have been sold a bill of bad goods. So on one hand, we can say that yes, Black women have fell victim to or have fallen victim to programming and propaganda, but also we can agree that Black women wanted it. The devil might set the trap, but you want the cheese. So Satan may suggest that Eve eat the fruit, but deep down inside, Eve wanted to eat the fruit. So all the devil is doing is offering Black women what they want. This is why putting all your stock into your skin color doesn't work. Because you put all your stock into your skin color, the devil's going to get you. The devil's going to get you. We are made in God's image. We're supposed to be like Christ. That way your identity isn't entrapped in something of this world and you can't be tricked or deceived. When you put all your stock in your appearance, i.e., I'm a goddess or a queen because I'm Black, then you're going to be deceived. And that's what happened. The devil may have set the trap, but you wanted the cheese.
Elders. You traded family for funding, and while the majority of Black women are not queens, you are paid government agents. You are empowered, but not in the way that you think. You teamed up with the government via government assistance, child support, legal violence, and they weaponized you against your own community and your own men. They sold you on being strong and independent, but really they just isolated you and set you up for further manipulation and failure. The system didn't for you. It actually programmed you to fight against your own, disrespect your men, and not respect your elders. You traded family for funding, and while you celebrated your freedom, your house just is slowly burning down, actually rapidly. Unfortunately, you're not raising children, you're actually programming them. Your daughters are repeating the same cycles as you, becoming baby mamas, involved in sugar daddy culture, whole culture, all of the above. And then your sons lack leadership, discipline, and self-control. So just no order at all, just all dysfunction, emotionality, and rage. You became the perfect weapon to inject the dysfunction right directly into your children, so they don't have to do it because you're doing it for them. But then you brag about your degrees and how you're the most educated and independent and strong and how you guys can take care of yourself, but your children can't read. Can we make that make sense? And as long as you keep choosing the system over Black men, you'll remain a non-player character, a program bot running on a government code, just raising the next generation of slaves. And this is why you lead in obesity, single motherhood, least likely to get married, least desirable, most likely to raise a criminal. It's because you're a product of the very system that you think you're outsmarting.
That is Carmen JC. And I couldn't say it any better. I couldn't say it any better. She hit every nail on the head. And she said, you're just a government bot. And she's right. This is why I say Black women are the most programmed and propaganda group of people in the world. They are. They are literally agents of chaos. They don't even know it. They're being used by the communists, the Democrats. Every corporate America, like everybody is feeding off of Black women. And it's because they're in a position of leadership. They run an entire nation of people. They have no idea what it is to secure, no ideas of security, no ideas of provision, no ideas of stability, no ideas of building, nothing. Just literally being used to destroy the nation, not just the Black family or Black community, but the entire country. You know, if we look right here, we see this picture here, and this is Sexy Red and MLK. Now, you would think that these two are in opposition, but they aren't. Sexy Red is literally the daughter of MLK, and it sounds crazy, right? But she is. She's the literal daughter of MLK, because everything MLK was fighting for is actually manifest in Sexy Red, which is why every street that is named after MLK, what's around it? Death, destruction, and damnation. And it's by design. MLK is working for the communists, and therefore the product of a dysfunctional society is what you see here in Sexy Red. The communists couldn't use the whole economic thing over here because there's three classes of people. There's poor, middle class, and there's rich. It's hard pushing the economic divide when people are able to move upward economically. There's no cap on how somebody can move up in America. So because America's free economically, it's a free market, you can't push this whole economic oppression. They've tried. Black folks have bought into it, but the majority of America has not. So they have to use something else. They can't use economics. They got to use what? They got to use color. Because guess what? You can look at somebody and see how they look. It's the easiest thing to use. And Black folks have fell for it hook, line, and sinker, but no one like the Black woman. Now, you would think that Rosa Parks and Sexy Red are in opposition, but they aren't. They're not. They are. She is the daughter of Rosa Parks, because what Rosa Parks was fighting for is manifest in Sexy Red. And the irony of Sexy Red and Red being communists, like it plays out beautifully. These people were communists using Black people as foot soldiers, and Black people were all too complicit, all too willing. They fell for the propaganda hook, line, and sinker, and it wasn't because of a low IQ. It was because the Black people started stepping away from the faith. They started stepping away from the faith. The more successful Black people got, the further they walked away from God. And that's what happened. That upper mobility comes with responsibility. To whom much is given, that much more is required. So the more Black folks increased economically, the further they went away from God's word. And that's what happened. And that's how those communists were able to step in and infiltrate the churches, infiltrate the colleges, universities, infiltrate the schools, infiltrate the government, infiltrate every facet of society. And now we are where we are today. So I'm going to say this again. If the black woman was deceived by the communists, CIA, the Democrats, the corporate America, the educational system, if she was deceived by all these entities, then my question is, what is being done to deprogram her? What is being done to fix the modern black woman? What is being done to fix her? I don't see anybody fixing it. I don't see a course. I don't see a curriculum. I don't see an institution. I don't see anything saying we have to deprogram black women. You know why? Because the majority of black women all think the same. They will tell you not all, but if you talk to them long enough, they all share the same views. And it's because they've been under the same programming since birth. Satan has done a masterful job with the black woman. And at this stage in the game, the only thing that can save her is Christ. Thank you all. Have a blessed day.